Make some noise for none other than Trent Shelton.
I can easily tell you, I'm a top motivational speaker.
Trent Shelton now sharing the life lessons he learned.
I can easily tell you, I played in the NFL, and I'm a Baylor legend.
Trent Shelton, touchdown, Baylor!
I can easily tell you, I have over 10 million followers and over 1 billion video views. I can easily tell you, I travel all across the world and inspire people.
Love each other, man, period. At the end of the day, we all going to the same place, straight up.
But I'm not here to impress you with numbers. I'm here to impact your life. So if you're ready to make the world respect your greatness, tell the person sitting next to you, it's rehab time. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, let's go. Here we go. Yeah. Give it up for Trent Shelton! There we go. Hold on, man. Here we go. There we go. Y'all can sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. What's up? Y'all good? Hey, DJ, can we bring that audio back, the music back? Can we do that? Let me show y'all something. On this side, I want you to say, yeah. This side, y'all say, oh, yeah. Can we do that? Can we do that? Get back on your feet. Get back on your feet. Let me get this energy up. So when I point to this side, I want you to say, yeah. When I point to this side, I want you to say, oh, yeah. Middle, y'all just join in, all right? Can we do that? Can we do that? All right, let's get it. Make the world respect your greatness. 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 Yeah, there we go. There we go. Sit down now. There we go. Woo! Man, I'm tired. God. If y'all feel good, say straight up. I feel like I ran like a half marathon up here. Matter of fact, speaking of half marathon, did y'all see me, Dave, and Rachel run our half marathon? Anybody seen that? Yeah. I wasn't cheering, by the way, when I was doing it. Let me tell y'all a quick story real quick, how they got me to do this. So, I don't know if y'all probably was following Rachel, and you probably seen her going on a hike with me at Mission Peak in California, right? And so this hike, how I treat people that's never worked out with me, I always take them on an almost there thing, right? So we want an almost there hike. Y'all know what an almost there hike is? It's when you tell somebody every mile, we're almost there. Okay? So Mission Peak is like straight to the top. There's no break. And every single mile, Rachel had to speak that day too, so I feel sorry for her. So every mile they kept asking me like, hey, are we there? And I was like, we almost there. So it got to like mile 5, and they were like, Trent, we about to turn around. I was like, literally, like, for real, we're almost there, so we got to the peak. So what happens is we're in Puerto Rico, and they come to me and they say, hey, Trent, you want to run this half marathon with me? Have you ever said yes to something that you really didn't process first? All right, yeah. So that was me. I'm in shape, but I'm not in half marathon shape. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Championship mode, make the world respect your greatness, right? I'm going to do it. So what happens is once I got home, I really processed like how long. I looked it up, and I didn't realize a half marathon was 13.1 miles. I can give you 3 on a good day. So what I did was I didn't sign up for it because I thought that they would forget. So I got a text message from Rachel and Dave. It was like, hey, my team, they didn't see your name in the list. I was like, oh, I must have finished registering. Don't tell them I said that, right? So anyways, I run this half marathon, and when we get there the night before, it's in Waco. I went to Baylor, so like that's a big thing, right? Sick and Bears, I love it. So we get there, and the night before, we have an agreement, right, that we're going to run an 11-minute mile pace. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can do 11-minute miles, at least for like 8 miles or something. I can do that. So we start this race, and I got my watch on, so I'm keeping time. So we start this race, and the first mile, we at like 9:30. And so like, I didn't want to say like we're running too fast, but I was like, hey guys, we're at about 9:30. So, oh yeah, it's fine. It's just adrenaline. We'll slow down later on, right? We get to mile 2, We had about 9:35. So in my mind, I'm like, I cannot keep this pace up. And Dave, you see him, he's like owning the roads. He's saying, let's go. He's talking to people. Rachel is taking pictures with babies and everything while she's running, right? So I'm like, y'all in some good shape, but I'm over here dying, not trying to show it. We get to mile 5, and I catch my second wind. You know what that is, right? I catch my second wind, and I think I got a little bit too excited. So I put some Lil Wayne on, right? A million, I'm running, and I'm good. I'm yelling at people, it's rehab time, let's get it. Till I got to mile 8 and 9. And all that went out the window, I hit a brick wall. So Dave passed me, and then so it was me and Rachel running. And I was beating her by a little bit. We got to mile 12, and listen, at this point, I'm running like a 15-minute mile pace. Like I should have just walked, all right? I'm good. Really, it's one of these, right? So we get to mile 12, and Rachel was like, Trent, we're almost there. And I was like, nah, not according to my time. We got about 30 minutes as fast as I'm running. So I said, go ahead. To bring a point to this whole story is that my wife texted me, and she told me she was at the finish line. And at the finish line, I knew my son Tristan was there. And literally that Friday, we ran on a Saturday, I told Tristan, he runs the 800 meters, and I said, Tristan, like, don't you ever quit. You keep pushing forward. And it's funny how life works, where life will make you live the words you spoke to someone else. Happens to me, happens a lot to me. So in this moment, when I got this text, I realized something. How many parents we have in here? Wow. I want to tell you something. And I'm not going to give it a parenting class 101, but I'm going to tell you this. Your choices will become your child's consequences. And I'll tell you this. Children aren't listening to what you say for the most part. They're watching what you do. So the question I want to ask, and I don't need any feedback from this, I want you to really think about this, is what example are you putting out? And so in that moment, I'm like, if I quit because I wanted to quit, then I'm going to show Tristan that it's okay to give up. Not just in a race, but in life in general. So I found the strength to push through because Tristan and the lady at mile 13 that had the Krispy Kreme donuts, shout out to her if you're here. I don't know if you were there. But it pushed me through. So the question I want to ask you as we talk about the greatest you. Like Tristan was my reason, and people ask me a lot of times with rehab time, like, what's your reason? I don't want to get into my whole story about me getting cut from the NFL. You guys can research that if you don't know it. But the main reason why I started rehab time was my college roommate, one of my best friends, committed suicide. So that reason of why I've been consistent for the last decade, I can't give up. Because it was a promise. And promise aren't with words, promise are with actions, by the way. I can't give up. Even when there's times where I want to give up, there's times where it's hard, it's stressful, it's not easy. But it was a reason that I had that was bigger than myself. So the question I want to ask you right now as we talk about becoming the greatest you is what's going to be your reason? What's the reason when hard times hit your life, you keep going? What's the reason when everybody calls you stupid for believing in big dreams that you're going to ignore those opinions and keep going to achieve more with your life? It has to be bigger than you because I'm going to tell you right now, if your life isn't bigger than you, then you'll quit every single time. And I know right now I might be stepping on some toes, but listen, I'd rather you go and follow me when you leave here than me make you feel comfortable while you're in here. Because outside your comfort zone is where change takes place. We live in, I appreciate all the yells. I love it. But what I'm even more interested in is you actually taking action with your life because you guys are here. It's a great environment. It's energized. It's great. But I'm going to tell you something. Inspiration is not enough. Your dream, and some of y'all want to hear this, is not enough. Motivation is not enough. Information is not enough. It comes down to application. Application creates transformation. So you can hear it, you can read it, but if you don't apply it, nothing will change in your life. So if I'm you right now, not just with me, with everything, I'm writing everything down, not just writing it down. As soon as I leave here, I'm thinking about ways to apply it to my life. If y'all feel that, say straight up. Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. Write this down. 3 ways to build emotional resilience. A lot of people ask me, what is my greatest trait? I think one of my greatest traits that I've had in this journey of life and this journey of being an NFL football player and this journey of rehab time is something I call emotional resilience. What's emotional resilience, Trent? It's when your emotions show up. I'm tired, I'm stressed, it's hard, nobody's watching my videos, nobody's following me on social media, and you still push through. There's 3 ways how I build my emotional resilience, and if you learn these things, I promise you, it'll take your life to the next level. Number one, when it comes to emotional resilience, I want you to tell yourself that whatever it is that you're going through, this is making you stronger. You might say, Trent, but I feel weak. Trent, you don't understand what happened to me in my past. You don't understand what happened to me in my life. You don't understand, Trent. I'm telling you, it's making you stronger. Change the meaning that you give things in your life. Meanings are everything. How you define your life will tell a lot about how far you go with your life. So when I got cut from the NFL, when I was at my rock bottom, it was easier said than done. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's the number one excuse that I hate. Trent, that's easier said than done. I'm like, duh. Getting dressed every day is easier said than done, but you do it. Cooking food is easier said than done, but you do it, right? Why? Because you're hungry. So let me tell you something right now. When you're serious about change, and I'm not talking about the social media, I want to type stuff change. I'm talking about real change. When you're serious about change, you don't say easier said than done. You say no matter how hard it may be, no matter how impossible it may seem, no matter how many people walked out of my life, I'm going to get it done. That's called a power perspective. Your perspective can either be one or two things. Your perspective can either be your prison, or it can be your power. That choice is always up to you. How you see life is on you. And it starts right here. Your biggest battle is not with them, whoever them is. It's not external. Your biggest battle is with you inside yourself, right between here. Because how you think about life is how you see life. How you see life is how you feel about life. How you feel about life is what you do with life. And what you do with life is what you get from life. It starts right here. And the beautiful thing about that is that I get it, all these external things, but you're in control of that. You're in control of the meanings and the definitions that you give to life and what happened to you. Why not make it power? Why not? Why not say, you know what, this sucked, but this obviously brought me to a place. If I would have never got cut from 9 or 10 football teams, I wouldn't have started rehab time, I can tell you right now. So sometimes it takes something going wrong for everything to go right. If y'all feel that, say straight up. So number one, tell yourself that it's strength. Number two, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Movement influences mood. How many of you guys running here? Ladies, I'm sorry. How many ladies running here? Right? There comes a point you get tired, obviously, right? But you keep going, and that feeling that you were tired ends up weakening, and you keep pushing through. And you find that second win. It's because you kept moving. When we slow down in life and we stop and we just soak and we do nothing, if nothing changes, nothing is going to change. So tell yourself, it will get better, I will get stronger. The third thing when it comes to building emotional resilience, and this is obvious, at least for me, is this. You ain't got no other option. People talking about throwing the towel. Child, please, I don't even bring a towel to throw in. Because if you got that towel to throw in, it's always there. I don't give myself enough credit because I know, honestly, when it comes to emotions, sometimes I might cave. But when I burn that bridge where I made a true decision, a real decision is when you burn the bridge and say, you know what, I'm not going back. I might not know what I'm moving on to, but I for sure know what I'm moving on from. That's what it's going to take. There's no other option in your life. And when you apply that emotional resilience, I promise you it'll move you towards the greatest you. If y'all feel that, say straight up. Yeah. Y'all read this for me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Your current situation is not your final destination. Everybody in this building, everybody who stepped on this stage, I can guarantee you this. Everybody has struggles. I don't care how well you hide it. I don't care how many filters you put on it. I shouldn't have said that in a room full of women. My bad. Men do it too. We all do it. But seriously, in real life, I don't care how many bad chapters that you have in your life, because sometimes we're so chained to our past that we're afraid that people are going to judge us. We're so afraid to make change because as soon as you make a change, everybody's bringing up who you used to be. Anybody ever dealt with that before? Next time somebody brings up who you used to be, tell them this. You're right. That's who I was. That's what I did. This is who I am now. Aren't you proud of my growth? And when it comes to judgment, realize this. People judging you anyway. So you might as well give them something great to judge. Just because you had some bad chapters, listen to me. Just because you had some bad chapters doesn't mean your story can't end well. But you have to find the strength to turn the page and turn your pain into your power. Turn your struggle into your growth. I can promise you this. Every single person that has strength, the foundation for their strength is struggle. The foundation for growth is pain. There's no way you can grow without going through growing pains. But some of us are so afraid to go through it that we never get to it. Let me tell you something about fear. Fear is simply this. How many of you guys are scared? When I say guys, I mean, you get it, right? How many of you have fears? If you don't have fear, meet me after. I want to know how you're alien, I'm pretty sure, something like that. We all have fear. Fear of being judged, fear of failure, all these things. Fear of speaking on stages. This is my biggest fear, by the way. If you know me, you know I'm a social introvert, meaning that I'm social, but I'm an introvert at the same time. This was my biggest fear. You could have never got me to speak on a stage, ever. How did I overcome my fear? Simply this. Fear, the definition of fear for me is creating a known result. Creating a known result from a situation you haven't experienced yet. So what does that mean, Trent? It means you're telling yourself that what you're not going to be before you ever even try to become it. It's defeating yourself before you ever step into the ring. So when I first started speaking, I would tell myself, man, I'm going to freeze up, which happened the very first time I spoke in front of 5,000 people, by the way. People are not going to like me. People are going to fall asleep. And so, of course, if I'm creating that scary environment, I'm never going to walk through the door. If you want to walk through the door of fear, all you have to do is simply just change what awaits on the other side. Create something that's empowering. Even if you might fail, right? Failure is only when you stop trying, by the way. But even if you might fail, what's the lesson that you're going to learn from it? What's the growth that's going to happen from it? So one thing I want everybody here to do, go do something. Be smart about it. I'm not telling you to go do something crazy and blame me, right? But go attack a fear. Go show yourself that it's possible, because the only impossibilities that exist are the ones that you create. Y'all can clap. Y'all feel that? Say straight up. Y'all get y'all afraid to clap? Y'all can clap if y'all want. I know I said, all right. How do you turn your pain into your power? Can we go down on the notes just a little bit? Up, my bad. This way. Go up, go up, go up, go up. There we go, right there. Number one, acknowledge it. You can't fix what you're not willing to face. You can't heal from what you're running from. And I'll tell you right now, you will never win your war by running from your battles. And some of us, we're so afraid to face it, like I said before, because of these things, because of judgment, because of all these things. I want to tell you something. And I know this might sound kind of rude, but I love you guys. But I'm going to tell you this. By you not facing whatever it is, you're being selfish. Because somebody in the world needs your story. Whether it's your kid, whether it's a world full of people that you don't know, like I didn't even know that I would reach these many people, somebody needs you to be the greatest you outside of yourself. So acknowledge it. It's okay The second thing you have to do in turning your pain into your power is you got to own it. My pain used to be my worst enemy. Now my pain is my best friend. My pain literally changed my life. I'm able to speak on stages across the world, write books, have videos because I owned it. I said, you know what, I'm going to change this meaning. I'm going to make it empowering. I'm going to make it useful. How did the situation, and you might be going through this now, so maybe it's past it. How did the situation, or how's the situation, how did it change you for the better? If that person wouldn't have left your life, maybe it wouldn't have built the strength in your life. If you wouldn't have lost that job, maybe it wouldn't have brought you to your purpose. If you wouldn't have lost those friends, maybe it wouldn't have brought you to the right team. So think about it. How did all the things that were supposed to be bad for your life, how can those things turn into the good that's working for your life? So number 2, own it. And number 3, when it comes to turning your pain into your power, share it. The challenge I want to make to everybody in here, some of you already do this, but I want you to go on your social media this week, if you can, and share something that nobody knows about you. Maybe it's a struggle. Maybe it's something that you deal with. I shared not too long ago how I was overwhelmed and stressed by a book launch that went 2 months and I was traveling everywhere. People, they don't need this facade. They don't need this perfection. They need the imperfect you. Because that imperfect you has a perfect purpose, not just to affect your life, but affect the lives that need you to step up to the plate. Because some of us, we're trying to hit home runs. I don't know if y'all watch baseball, I'm sure you do, but we're trying to hit home runs by sitting in the dugout. Right? We're trying to make shots by sitting in the bleachers. When are you going to check yourself in your game of life? Listen, I know you're here and I know you love all of us on stage, but it comes to a point where you got to be your own hero. And I get it. When people speak into your life, it's needed. People spoke into my life and it changed my life. But you don't need my permission to tell you to be great. When you going to give yourself your own permission to tell yourself to be great? Seriously. We're always waiting on people to believe in us. When are you going to believe in you? I don't care how many people don't believe in you. You know how many people told me, Trent, you have tattoos and dreads, you can never be a motivational speaker. Straight up. Trent, your past is too bad. You can never make it out of football. That was your whole identity. That was your whole entire life. There's nothing else more to your life. Don't let people place their impossibilities on you. What they couldn't do has nothing to do with what you can do. And what's crazy is this, and I'm jumping ahead, but I'm following my heart. What's crazy is this, is that when I used to say I want to make it to the NFL, right? All these people told me I was stupid, anybody ever laugh at your dreams and your vision, right? Everybody does, right? We all have haters. Y'all know what haters are, right? Haters are people who admire what you do, they just have a different way of showing it, by the way. Should I go here right quick? I'm gonna do this. When it comes to, because everybody loves to talk about haters, right? Listen, when it comes to haters, just think about it for a second. Because people ask me this question, Trent, how do you deal with all the hate and all the criticism? You know, 99%, first of all, is your focus. Too many times we focus on the 10% of hate and it takes our focus off the 90% of love. That's number one. But think about this. If someone really hated you, why did they follow you on every social media site? And even to this point, if someone really hated you, why did they make a fake profile just to follow you on every social media site? You got some haters, right? I feel you. So, to me, that doesn't seem like hate, does it? That seems like love, and so what we're going to call those people until they get on board with you, they're just confused supporters. They love you, they just don't want to show it yet. All right, y'all feel that? Say straight up. So stop letting haters silence your voice. Stop letting social media silence your voice. It's going to happen. Your current situation is not your final destination. And sometimes we're moving forward, and I'm going to be real brief with this, we allow the how-to to stop us. Like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to heal. I don't know how to start this company. I don't know how. Like, first of all, there's YouTube University. You can enroll for free anytime, right? You can find out anything about that. But also, too, I believe this. When you really understand your reason and your why it becomes a have-to, I promise you that have-to will reveal itself in the journey. It will reveal itself, but you have to take the necessary steps, and you have to have the courage, and you have to have the faith to say, you know what, I'm going to take a step, even though I don't know where I'm going necessarily, but I know that I'm not going to stay here another day in my life. That's how you move forward. So don't let the how. I couldn't have come up with a formula to make people watch my videos. But I just said I knew what I want to give to the world. Impact always over numbers. If y'all feel that, say straight up. Y'all read this for me. Count to three. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. All right, side note. I am not trying to end any friendships in here, okay? I'm not. No relationships, because every time I talk about this, I'll go outside and I see a whole bunch of Ubers pull up, right? It's like we came together, but we ain't leaving together, okay? Have a conversation. But I got to be real with you. If I had the potential to have, if I had a beautiful rose, right? I had the potential to be the most beautiful rose in the world. And I put that rose in the wrong environment. What's going to happen to that rose? It's going to die, it's going to start to die. You need to start looking at your life. If your life was a garden, your dreams are a garden, and you're that rose, this is the only time I'm going to tell you to point the finger out and not take responsibility on everything. But some of us, we got the talents, we got the capabilities, we have the gifts. We just are in the wrong environment. And it's funny when it comes to flowers and gardening. I would tell you the gardening story, but I don't have time. You can look it up on YouTube. It's super funny. Like, I tried to garden and it was a disaster. But when it comes to gardening, when a flower doesn't blossom, we don't blame the flower, right? We fix the environment in which it grows. You're that flower. Maybe you're not reaching your full potential because you're around people that don't push you to reach your full potential. A lot of us, maybe, that it's hard to feel happiness and joy like you're supposed to feel because you're staying in an environment of pain and misery. It's impossible to heal by staying in the hurt. Everything in your life, every connection, it's not always about people. Sometimes it's our own mindsets, it's our own habits, but everything in your life is a connection. It's a bridge. And people say don't burn bridges. I don't say that. There are certain bridges you shouldn't burn, I agree. But I'm gonna tell you this. There's certain bridges you have to burn because there's certain things your life cannot afford to go back to. There's certain bridges you have to burn because there's certain things your life cannot afford to go back to. So what I need you to do, whatever that bridge is, that's leading you back to doubt, that's leading you back to fear, that's leading you back to pain, that's leading you back to hurt, that's leading you back to struggle. I need you to burn every single bridge that leads your life back to destruction. Light that thing on fire. Like nobody's car or nothing like that. Like, don't do all that stuff. You said what? Let it burn. 3 ways to build a growth environment. Write this down. You want to put yourself in environments that force you to grow. And if you're the best person in your team or your environment, I'm going to tell you something right now. You need to change, or I'm going to say change your team, but you need to get around people who force you to grow. If you're the best, you're not going to get better. I love to put myself in environments where I'm the worst because I know at the end of the day I have no choice but to get better. Some of y'all don't want to clap for that. Be like, I want to be the best, Trent. I ain't doing all that, right? But seriously, if you're in an environment that doesn't cheer and applaud for you when you win, and make sure you're this person, by the way. You don't have a circle. I'm going to tell you what you got. You got a cage. And y'all trying to fly free in this cage. Mindsets are very contagious. What you surround your life around is exactly what you will become. So look around and ask yourself, are my friends, they're contagious? Do I want to catch what they got? Uh-oh. So build this growth environment. Number one, dig up all the bad seeds in your life. And I'm not talking about the surface level solutions, like the easy stuff. Nah. A lot of us, we want surface level solutions. We want something that we can do easily, do it today, and everything's gonna change. That's not reality of life. Because some of us, we have things in us built up from years and years and years. Some of us from our childhood. And I'll tell you this, if you don't get down to the root issues, the problem, the situation will find its way back to the surface. So dig up those seeds, subtract the distractions, whatever it is. Maybe it's your mindset, maybe it's your past, maybe it's friends. I don't know what it is, it's only you know. But you gotta dig it up, because if you don't dig it up, you can sweep it under the rug all you want, but guess what? Just because it's swept under the rug doesn't mean it disappeared, it's still there. You're just hiding it for a while. If you don't deal with your stuff will deal with you. Y'all don't be want to hear that stuff, I know. It's hard, I get it. But I'm not here to make you feel good, to be real with you. I'm here to create change in your life. That's my duty. And so I know I might be kind of stepping on your toes, but I want to. The truth sometimes hurts, but I promise you this, the truth will always help and it will set you free. All right, so number one, dig up the bad seeds. Number two, plant new seeds in your life. What do you mean by that, Trent? Well, one way you can plant new seeds is being intentional about your life, right? Finding new habits. I'm a firm believer, and I know Rachel talks about this too and gives you guys with a Start Today journal and everything. I'm a firm believer in how you start your day will influence your day. One thing that you can do when you leave here is start being intentional about your life. That's in your control, because if you're not intentional about your life, I can tell you this, you're not leading life, life is leading you. If the first thing you do, and we all struggle with this, I still struggle with it. The first thing you do is grab your phone in the morning, you're not leading life, life is leading you. And you're playing on defense. When you're intentional about your life, you start your day off for you. Self-care is not selfish, it's necessary. When's the last time you took care of yourself and something for you? Because I know we have a lot of mothers in here, and I know you do things for everybody else. But it does no good to be there for everybody else if you're not there for yourself, because guess what? You become empty, you become drained. Trust me, I know this. You become stressed. And the people that need you to be the best you, they get a lesser version of yourself. This is how I start my day, 4 A's. Simple. Number one, I wake up in appreciation. 150,000 people die every day. You don't believe me? Go ask Siri. That's 55 million people here. If you're looking for a reason to be grateful for that. You have another chance to make a comeback. You have another chance to bounce back. Second thing I do is I wake up with affection. My daughter is easy. My wife is easy. I give affection. I give hugs. I always say this, a hug a day keeps depression away. I try to hug my son, but he's 10 years old. He'd be like, nah, Dad, I don't know about all that, right? The third A is accomplishment. Start your day off with a win. I'm not talking about something big. Start Today journal is great. Do that. That's a win. Do something small, whether it's washing dishes, folding clothes. That will build momentum in your life in a positive direction. The last A is activity. I like to protect my peace. I like to disconnect often. I go for hikes and trail runs, but go create movement. Movement influences movement. Now, I promise you this. If you start your day off with some type of process like this, even though it doesn't make you bulletproof to the world, it will make you more prepared when you show up in the world. If y'all get that, say straight up. Ooh, time is moving fast. Are y'all good out there? Y'all bored? All right. Just making sure. Appreciate it. I gotta sift through these things right quick. Y'all read this 1, 2, 3. All right, I get this question a lot. Anybody want to know how you find your purpose? Anybody? All right, I'm going to tell you how to find your purpose. Number 1, write this down. Stop looking for it. So many times we think that the world has our purpose. What you're searching for is not your purpose. You're searching for your placement. Your job is your placement. It's not your purpose. Rehab time is not my purpose. It's my placement. What do you mean, Trent? I was created with purpose, just like you. I know you heard this stat, but I don't know if you really get it. There's 7 billion people in this world, and there's only one of you. If you're looking for a miracle, go look in the mirror. There's only one of you. Stop searching for your purpose, because what you will find is usually an interest. What you will find is probably a confused dream. And listen, I know we have dreams, but this is a big step right here. Because sometimes dreams and purpose go hand in hand, but most times they don't. NFL was my dream. Dreams are usually for us. But are you willing to let go of your dream to walk into what you were created to do? Now, think about that. Are you willing to walk away from what validates you, from what makes you feel significant? What was your identity? Football was my identity since I was 5 years old. That's all I ever knew. But I had to walk away because I knew that there was something greater for my life, even though I didn't know exactly what it was. But I knew football wasn't it because I didn't love football. I was there for the check. I was there because I was so afraid to be judged. I was there because who would I be without it? Some of us, the reason we haven't reached our full potential because we're hanging on to something that we need to let go of. So number 1, stop searching for it. Number 2, purpose has nothing to do with profit or position. A lot of us don't want to realize that this might be our purpose because it isn't sexy enough for social media. Oh, I don't make 6 figures, so this can't be my purpose. When I started Rehab Time, I was making not a dime. Wasn't nobody bringing me in to speak. I got to go speak to elementary schools, anywhere for free. And I never cared about getting paid because this was my life and it was my duty and my job to go serve. So the question I want to ask you right now, if you didn't get paid for it, would you still do it? Yeah. And if you can say yes, then that just might be what you were created to do. But stop thinking that you got to have something that gets you a lot of followers and likes and all these things, all these external validations. Third thing, realize this. Purpose is you. Everybody say, I am purpose. I didn't believe that. I am purpose. Say it with your chest. Say, I am purpose. That's what I'm talking about. And when you really believe that, it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what job you have. It doesn't matter how life goes. You can always use your life to serve. Purpose is about service. And when you realize the more value you can add to people, that's how you grow in life. If y'all get that, say straight up. Y'all read this. 1, 2, 3. Stop living for IOPs. What's an IOP? Impressing other people. The number 1 regret when people die is that they wish they wouldn't have lived their life so much for other people in a negative way. Some of us, myself included at times, we live so much for other people in a negative way. We try to please people in a negative way. We try to buy all these things to our life to make us look successful instead of becoming successful. We try to add all these filters in real life and we keep our battles silent. We smile for the camera, but we die behind the scenes. What's the point of that? What's gonna really matter? Like, I don't mean to put I don't wanna put death in the air, but what's gonna matter on your last day? You gonna care about how many people liked your last picture? What you living for? And it's something I really want you to think about. What really matters? I ask myself that all the time. When I'm on my deathbed, and what's really gonna matter? And I try my best to live for that. 4 things I need everybody in here to quit. Number 1, quit trying to please everybody. That's an impossible task because as soon as you please everybody, there's gonna be somebody that don't like you that you please everybody, all right? There's always gonna be something wrong with you at some time to somebody else. The first step to being unhappy is trying to please everybody else. What's the point of gaining the world's approval if that gain means you lose yourself? It doesn't add up, and so many of us care so much about the opinions of others for what? Even myself, I care so much to be liked. Why? Just to impress people. Why do we care so much about people who can care less about us? Why are we trying to be perfect for imperfect people? Number 2, brings me right to it. Quit trying to be perfect and just be real. The reason why I love the Hollis company, Rachel and Dave, who you see on stage is who you see off stage. Like facts. And trust me, I be around a lot of people in this industry, a lot of people in life. And who they are on stage is not who they are off stage. A lot of people are more concerned about how they look to the world instead of how they look to their world. If y'all need any motivation, look around. You guys are here from a woman who decided that I'm just gonna be real and stop trying to be perfect. Y'all realize that? Your transparency will lead to your transformation. Number 4. I'm in 3? My bad. I got a time limit right here. I'm trying to get through this. Quit trying to control the things you can't control. Stop doing it. It's out of your control. You can't do nothing about it. We drive ourselves crazy trying to control the things we can't control. And we wonder why our life is out of control. What can you control? What can you do? What's in your realm of life that you can control? You can't control rumors. You can't control gossip. You can't even control things with life. Only thing you can control is showing up every single day. So number 3, quit trying to control the things you can't control. Number 4, quit measuring your life and just start appreciating your life. Appreciation is the first step to elevation. When you appreciate, because we've been trained since we were younger to always find more. We need this to validate it. Since we were kids. We've always been trying to find something else to make us feel good about ourselves. Realize this, everything you have, everything you need is everything you already have. Everything that you need, you were born with it. But we've been so programmed to search for what we don't need, to search for what we want, that we don't even realize. We become blind to everything we do have in our life. So programmed to search for everything we don't have, that we become blind to everything we do have. Searching for all of this stuff, and we overlook our daily blessings every single day. Every single day, we overlook it. When you learn to appreciate your life, I promise you, you will change your life. If you feel that, say straight up. Y'all read this for me. 1, 2, 3. Hey, that's commitment, because I'm going to tell you right now, the mood that you're in right now will leave at some point, all right? It's high. It's like the New Year's Eve thing, right? How many of y'all still staying loyal to your New Year's Eve goals, right? I do not go to the gym between January 1st and to January 12th. I'm not there because everybody's in there, but I know after January 12th, real life will kick back in and everybody throw the towel on their goals and their dreams, right? That new year, new me mentality. If you need a new year to make a change, is that change really real? A lot of times we think we have a consistency problem. I'm not a consistent person. Yes, you are. You might be consistent at the wrong things, but you're consistent. Even at the right things. How many of you guys got kids in here? Right? How many? Oh, okay, cool. How many of you have to change diapers every single day? How many of you like to change diapers every single day? But you did it. How many of you go to a job? Don't raise your hands on this because I don't want you to get fired. How many go to a job every single day that you don't like? Oh, y'all say forget it. I'm trying to get fired anyway. All right. You just talked about dreams and purpose, Trent. I'm letting it go. But you show up every single day to something you don't like. How does that work? You know why? Because you understand the repercussions if you don't show up. If you don't go to the job, what's going to happen? You don't get paid, you might lose your possessions. If you don't change your daughter or son's diapers, they're going to be in some terrible shape, right? But you do it. It becomes a have to. The reason why most of us are not consistent at certain things, and I'm preaching to myself, with certain things in my life, because it hasn't become a have to. It's too far out. So when I want to take care of my health, I don't see the immediate results. So I just put it off. But if the doctor was to diagnose you with a sickness, I guarantee you'd be very consistent at that point. Why is it that we always have to let it get to that point for us to be consistent? You don't have a consistency problem, you have a commitment problem. Everybody stand to your feet. As I give you these final words, I want you to really think about maybe just one thing you heard from me today. One thing that you can apply to your life, that you can make that change. How can you be more consistent? How can you show up regardless every single day because someone needs you to? Turn to your neighbor and say, you gonna show up? It's a new year. But is it really gonna be a new you? What's gonna make this any different? What's gonna keep you committed? It's easy to make a decision, but what's hard is staying loyal to your vision. What's hard is waking up every single day to go get it. Ain't nothing in this world given. So if you wanna make a change, you gotta get outside your comfort zone and stop living inside your limits. Stop playing with your life. Get up and go fight for your dreams. Because nothing is impossible to the heart that believes. But you gotta believe. You gotta feel this purpose in your soul. Because too many people set goals, but they never put in the work to see their dreams unfold. That's not gonna be you. It's time to break through. It's time for you to be loyal to what you said you were gonna do. Even when that mood has left you. Even when that struggle gets the best of you. It's not there to break you. It's just there to test you. It's just there to show you how bad you really want it. Because when you're serious about change, you don't need a new nothing. All you need is a new moment. So own it. It's time to break those old ways. Because when you're committed to your purpose and you're focused on your vision, you don't have to chase nothing. People, money, you don't have to chase nothing because commitment pays. Consistency pays. Dedication pays. But those weak habits gotta break. Your mindset reshaped. You gotta believe the odds are beatable, even when the odds say it's impossible. That's what we call faith. And listen, that's what it's gonna take. As best as you can, 24/7, 365, you gotta live it, breathe it, be it every single day. Rise above any challenge that gets in the way, and remember, it's more about what you do and less about what you say. So if your life couldn't say one word, what would your life speak? Would it still say you about rising above your struggles and creating new peaks? Would it still say you about getting the most out of your life? Because every moment matters. Especially when you realize over 150,000 people die every night. Ain't none of this promised. Ain't none of this guaranteed. So the questions that I leave you with are these. When you breathe your last breath, when you fight your last fight, when you live your last day, what's the legacy that you're gonna leave? Everybody put one finger to the sky. It's time we rise up. It's time we rise above. And it's time we rise together. It's rehab time. Let's get it.